I was the man behind the curtain. As the former head county prosecutor, I was the person daily making the decisions as the chief law enforcement officer about every prosecution from spitting on the street to a murder case. It was an incredible job to have. And a lot of people always asked this question, and they were always curious and they didn't know. How were the decisions being made? What was going on, like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain? What I'm going to tell you, because it applies also to having a good defense lawyer, which we hope that we're doing at the Bianchi Law Group, because our team of former prosecutors are leveraging that trial experience and what we know about the man behind the curtain. That's us and what it is that we're thinking of. And I wrote down 5 things down here that I think are very relevant, because when there was an issue in a case, whether it be a factual issue, a legal issue, and my assistant prosecutors would come to me and said they had a problem with the case and that we may need to readjust plea offers. Now, listen, if we felt that the person was innocent and not guilty of the offense, we clearly would dismiss the case, and we were very proud to do that. But there are a lot of times where we didn't think the person was innocent, but the question became, would the lawyer, the defense lawyer, fight hard for the client? And if so, and if we had a problem, would we have to significantly lower plea offers? So while everybody thought there was this big mystery about the man behind the curtain, really what it was an evaluation of the facts, the law, and here's what's key for this video: the defense attorney that's handling the case. The reputation of the lawyer was huge in our mind, because we knew there were some skilled attorneys that would fight the fight, and they would fight hard, and they could be successful. And like a street fight, if the person is out there and they could score blood, draw blood, or harm you in some sort of way, you're going to be more likely to be defensive, because you understand that your case is not as valuable as you thought it was when you first entered into it. So here are the 5 things we asked. Is the lawyer a great lawyer? Are they a fighter, or are they a handholder? And a handholder was somebody that we knew they would never try the case, they wouldn't file motions, they wouldn't give us any kind of pushback. At the end of the day, they would do whatever it was that we felt was the right thing. Now, I'm not saying I respected that, but I am saying is that that is a reality. It goes on. The squeaky wheel gets the grease kind of thing. The fighters and the ones who are willing to, fight the fight are the people that are typically going to get the better results, or squeeze as much as they can in the plea offer process. We'll get to that in another video. Is the firm powerful enough to handle the cases? We knew which lawyers were choking on cases because they had so many of them, because their business model did not catch up to their operations model. Huge thing, folks. You got to make sure when you're vetting a lawyer, do they have the operations, the paralegals, the support staff, and other attorneys where they can draw upon those experiences? You don't want a huge firm, in my opinion, personally, but you want one that's got support, that's got teamwork, that's got the ability to be able to carry that ball and to be able to assist one another. A one-trick pony could be the greatest lawyer in the world, but if they're dealing with 100 cases and their case inventory is too high, this is something you need to know before you retain that attorney. Ask them, how many cases do the lawyers typically handle? Do they have enough time for my kind of case? Are they familiar with my kind of case? Have they actually prosecuted these kind of cases and defended these kind of cases in the past? And how did they do with them? Listen, nothing in the past is going to be a predictor of what's going to happen in the future, but these questions you must ask. A decent law firm doesn't care. They want to answer these questions. They're proud of them. Number 2, do they have the courtroom experience at the highest levels? Now, we're very proud because our team of former prosecutors has handled a whole variety of cases, from murder cases all the way down to the lesser significant cases. So our answer clearly is we've got that background. We've got that heft. We've got that ability to be able to try the biggest cases. We did it as prosecutors. We do it as defense lawyers. And we also have units and divisions in our criminal defense practice, including an appellate unit. That's right. Lawyers who specialize just in law. They're kind of, excuse me to my appellate lawyers at the Bianchi Law Group, a little nerdy. They're in the books. They're always checking the new laws, but they give us what we call air support as trial lawyers. Vital to make sure we're on the cutting edge. Even today, we had an issue where our appellate lawyer hit a home run by coming out with something that's new in a novel area of law that we're looking forward to advancing on behalf of our client. But that's telling you whether or not the firm is powerful capable enough to handle the case? And can they also protect your reputation? That's some of our high-end clients. We have that. Of course, Dave Bruno and myself, my law partner, we are media tested, media trained. I was as the county prosecutor. I did a lot of media and was trained actually in doing media relations, as well as the fact that we're in the media all the time. And that's a key component in certain cases because the media is a tricky animal. And while a lot of people will say this, never talk to the media, there is just an unreality to that. There's a way of saying things without saying things in the media that will position your client for an optimal result, because reputation damage is huge when you get charged with a crime. And we understand that just saying no comment is not necessarily the best for the family, the friends, and the businesses, because look, when a crime is charged, we recognize that the person's life is devolving and it's having catastrophic rippling effects throughout their life. So sometimes knowing when to use the media, how to use the media ethically, appropriately, and leveraging on behalf of your clients, a key thing. The idea of we just never talk to the media when the media calls, and having in the paper your no comment is literally the worst thing you can do. Here's a big one. Are they respected by the prosecutors and judges? I get this all the time where we take calls, because I take a lot of the calls that come into the office, and they're like, well, another lawyer said that they know the prosecutor and they know the judge. Run away. No lawyer, even if it's true, they know the prosecutor or judge, should be saying that to you, because inferentially what they're saying to you is that I have contacts and connections that are going to give me the leg up. Prosecutors do not, should not, and will not operate in that fashion. They will operate based on facts, law, ethics, and your reputation. So the reputation of the lawyer is important, but not reputation because we're buds and we go out and we have some drinks together. No, reputation for tenacity, for fight, for a law firm that's got the background and the power and the ability to be able to do the job. That will be crucial, because the fact of the matter is, the most important thing that happened, the man behind the curtain for me, was who is the attorney? Is this a handholder, or is this a fighter? Is it a brawler? Is it a skilled trial lawyer? Guys, I can't emphasize this enough. Not all lawyers are created equal, and not all law firms are created equal. And I'm not even here to say that one law firm's good and another law firm's not, but they're not all the same. You got to know the ethos and the philosophy of the law firm. Do they believe in fighting? Are they the kind of law firm that says, well, we all just kind of want to get along, and I don't want to get the prosecutors ruffled, or I don't want to get the judge ruffled? Now, look, I'm not trying to ruffle prosecutors, and I'm not trying to ruffle judges. We are in a real business. We're in a real situation here where people's lives are on the line. Their life, their death, their reputation, their family, their literal liberty is on the line here. So this is not a genteel process. No judge nor prosecutor should expect that the defense lawyer is going to be coming in and, just rolling over. In fact, the man behind the curtain used to have no regard or respect for those lawyers. I would sit there and listen to them inartfully knowing their file, not knowing their file, not knowing motions to the file, not having the skills and not having the training, not having the support of the law firm. And I would shake my head, and sometimes actually gave a defendant a break, because I'd say, the lawyer isn't doing the job for him. You don't want that kind of law firm if you've got a serious matter. Look, there's a lot of great lawyers out there. The most difficult thing, follow these pieces of advice that I gave you. We have 9 tips on how to hire a good criminal defense lawyer. Maybe we'll attach it, below in this video so that you can see it, because selecting the attorney is the most important thing. But the bottom line to this video is that it always used to make me laugh when I finally became the head county prosecutor. It was a great honor that people would think that there was some magical thing that was going on, in the room. And really, we would tear the curtain down and let people know how it was we were making decisions. We would tell defense lawyers, hey, give us mitigation packages, give us investigative information, file motions if you think we didn't do the things correctly or we did things illegally. We're not omnipotent. We make mistakes. Some did, many didn't. The ones who did got the play. The ones who didn't, sometimes we didn't even know there was an issue in the case because they didn't bring it forward. All right, guys, listen, that's it. If you like what you see here, like and subscribe and comment. The more that we can get out into the community, and we love doing this, my law partner and myself, my whole team of former prosecutors are very proud of what it is that we're presenting here in these educational videos. And if you ever have a suggestion for a video, we love to do it. This is what we do. This is us, Bianchi Law Group, throughout the state of New Jersey, criminal law, domestic violence, municipal court. Be well.